I see live on Facebook on mine. Yeah.
Hi, and welcome. So glad you joined us for another weekly wisdom interview series. We have a very special guest with us today. We have Teresa Moyer, and she has figured out what you need to do to help your aging parents so that you can also have a personal life. And so I'm very excited to have Teresa here with us because I know so many of you are going through this phase as we have all the baby boomers entering that, elderly phase, and a lot of people are having to figure out how to care for them. So Teresa is an author, she's a coach, she's a speaker. She has 35 years career as a personal or physical trainer, and she teaches others how to assist aging parents with her 4-step Experi Age method for optimal health. She and her husband are parents of 3 grown children as well. So welcome to our weekly wisdom, Teresa. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Tammy, for having me. It's such a great thing to be here today.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with this.
Well, I have been a physical therapist for 35 years. And during that time, I did some multidisciplinary group therapy with people. And, actually they were like patients in nursing homes. And we just saw amazing results of people, gaining strength in their body, mind, and spirit. They, interacted together. They did activities that they normally wouldn't do in traditional therapy. And I really grabbed onto it because I thought there was so much value in it. And so that's a little bit about my professional background. And also, I am a wife and a mother of 3. I don't have any grandchildren yet. I just have 3 children, maybe someday. But they live all over the country. Love to visit them, and they live in fun cities. So someday we'll get back to that. But yes, that's professionally, that's what I did. And I decided 14 years later, after I developed this group therapy, to actually write a book about it. And my book is called The Art of Assisting Aging Parents. And I teach health strategies that help you gain your highest level of health. I also teach some educational strategies, which I will be actually giving you a freebie today on an educational strategy that you can use with your parents to teach them some new skills. And I also use the benefits of group interactions, because now the research is showing that these face-to-face interactions that we have help us to live longer. So it's awesome, so if you're in a group, stay in the group. And I know right now, during this pandemic time, we can't be in the groups that we're normally in, but do your best to, just have family time together, or some type of social distancing where you can be with people. And so that's what I teach in my book.
Awesome. That is exciting. I mean, there's not a lot of out there about how to assist with this. And so it's great to see more and more things coming. And did you have some like aha moments when you knew you wanted to make this transition?
I actually did. I had kind of 2 aha moments. And the first one was when I was asked, or, I actually got this new job at the Skilled Rehabilitation Center, and they said, we do group therapy. And so actually my first time in, participating in this group therapy, I was just seeing some, I thought crazy things happen. Like I thought these patients, they had a degree of dementia, and they were, seemed to be a little bit listless almost. And then when we started the group therapy and got their bodies and brains engaged in these activities in a group setting, they were shouting out. We were actually building words and doing some physical activities. They were shouting out words that I was just like, where is this coming from? It just opened up my eyes to the wonders, of the body and the brain and how that works together. So that was kind of my first aha moment. And then, like I said, 14 years later, I had always wanted to share this information, but that was my second aha, is like when I was helping my mother during the last few years of her life. And I had so many people coming up to me saying, what can I do with my aging parents? And they were almost like pleading with me to help them. And I thought, I could make a bigger impact if I write a book and help people actually get on this program. I do want to say that the program it's not just a Band-Aid, it's a process. And it's a transformation. And you can be sure that your life will transform as a caregiver, and your parents' lives will transform also. And I think that's so important, because we're all looking, to be better and to gain more and to grow ourselves. And this really is a transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you said that, it's a process, right? Because it doesn't just, one thing changes and then everything changes. It's a progression. And it's also a progression with your aging parents as things change for them. So each, step that they take, they go through different things. And so you've got to adjust and learn a new process each time. And so for those of you watching, if you have questions for Teresa, feel free to type them in the chat. And, I'm sure she would love to hear from you and see where you are on this path and what things you might be struggling with or trying to figure out or wondering what the best path might be. So go ahead and type those in the comments for us. Tell us a little bit about your Experiage method and how does that work?
Okay, yeah, there are 4 steps to the Experiage method. The first one is finding your strengths. And we all need to do that. And how I set this up is you actually having a conversation with your parents. I list out tons of questions that would bring up, how they might have, how they can kind of go back to their stories in their life and talk about their strengths, they and actually, if you only have 5 minutes with your parents a week on the phone, just ask them one question. If you happen to have a half an hour, you can sit down with your parents and talk to them about, tell me about the time when you ran track and you got that medal that's hanging on the wall, or, bring out the good stuff, because aging is difficult and we need to draw on our strengths as we age. So we want you to get in contact with your parents about, their strengths and build them up, when you're with them and working with them. Yeah, now the second step would be the life vision. I believe we all have a life vision. I believe it's just deep within us. We have a purpose here on earth. And if we can connect with that every day in some way, it gets us out of bed in the morning. It helps us, motivates us to do things that helps ourselves. So, talk to your parents about their passions in life and bring those back into their lives in little ways that will make a difference for them and that they can connect with and that will make them happy. So that's the second step. And then we throw goal setting in there because that also gives them something to work on. And if they have a goal that is way out there that you're thinking, mom or dad, you're never going to achieve that goal, just put that in the long-term goal section so they can have something to hope for. And then off of those long-term goals, you build the short-term goals that support those, long-term goals. And I teach you how to write goals and how to build concrete activities, which is the third step, and build those into their daily routine. The fourth step is assessment. We all have to assess where we're going. Are we on the right path? Do we need to tweak it a little bit? Do we need to change it up? Do we need to reset our goals? And basically, this process is an ongoing process. You just continue to keep going through it and changing your life. And like Tammy said, they build on each other. All these steps build on each other to build that optimal health that you're working towards.
Awesome. I love how you put it. And, I think it's so important that we realize and kind of recognize our parents for their purpose and still have those conversations with them, because a lot of times I think, people are like, okay, well, they're done with their jobs or retired. Like, what is that purpose? And still having those goals. So I love, having those conversations with them. Okay, what is your goal for the year? And what do you want to do next? And, kind of keeping that, you know, excitement going for them, that it's not, now that you're retired, it's not, nothing's over. Like, you still have opportunities and you still have growth. And so I love how you put that. So what is the greatest takeaway from your program that you would like to share with us?
Well, one of the greatest things that I learned with writing the book and from all the information I put in there is that it actually came back down to one skill, and that is listening.
Mm,
And it just hit me that listening is just one of the most important skills you can have.
yeah.
Yeah, and and when you're in conversation with your parents too, when you listen to them, don't think of the reply that you're going to give them, but listen to understand, and try to really understand your parents on a deep level, so that that actually makes your relationship better. And then you can build, kind of build or create those treasured memories that you will want to have, because they will be with you the rest of your life. I know I lost my mom last October, and immediately after she passed away, I just started living on the memories that we had. And I was very fortunate to be able to help her during the last couple of years of her life. I was able to help my sisters with her care, and we had those additional memories built, and I'm just so grateful for those. So I would say that there is the building of the health, the body, the mind, and the spirit. But I think listening is the key. Not only listening to people, but listening to your body. Your body's going to tell you what you need to give it. Take the time to go through the meditation and the mindfulness. It kind of grounds you, and you can listen to yourself, because sometimes our brains are going 100 miles an hour, and we have to slow down and listen to what we're telling ourselves and what we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. We all need that, right?
Mhm. Yes,
Get that
we really
experience.
do.
We need it with our
Mhm.
kids, we need it with our
Mhm.
spouses, but it is
Mhm.
important, like, that we actually stop and listen. I know sometimes when you have aging parents, like, sometimes you're just going to check in, and you're
Mhm.
like, you're kind of like just wanting to know if everything's okay and how things are going.
Mhm.
But having further conversations with them and listening to them, and really hearing what they have to say is so important. Well, I know you have a very special gift you want to share with the audience as well. So tell us about that.
Yes, I made up a handout that, and it kind of has to do with what Tammy's doing, is because Tammy is teaching people to how to build businesses. And I'm going to give you a handout on experiential learning, and it is a theory by David Kolb. And it is a 4-step method on how to teach your parents new skills. And as your parents age, they're going to have to learn how to do things a different way. Maybe they'll have to learn how to use a walker, or if they've had a stroke, they might have to learn how to get themselves dressed differently. And these are just, it's easy. There's 4 steps to it. And you can work with your parents to teach them some new skills in an easy way. So I will put that link into the chat, or on Tammy's Facebook page. And you can go grab that link and get the handout. And then if you want to sign up for my newsletter, I have a newsletter on Experiage, and it's a transformational living. So basically, change every day. Change for the better every day. you know your brain is plastic. It wants to be changed. It's begging for change. It's begging for new experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time. Your brain loves surprises. So I give a lot of education, and then I give some exercises too on how you can actually implement these things. So
Excellent. I love ending on that because in what you said,
mhm.
our brain needs new experiences.
Mhm.
And, it's one of the things I'm very passionate about is
Mhm.
being able to create new experiences for yourself, being able to, I think it's one of the biggest reasons that people feel stuck in their lives, that people get to a point
Mhm.
with their careers or with relationships that they get bored and they get stuck because they don't have new challenges and new things coming into their life. And it's so important that we all, in every area of our life, have good challenges, right? The ones that
Mhm.
I call them the
Right, right.
OMG moments. I
Mhm.
call them,
Yes.
those OMG moments when they make you like scared and excited at the same time, like a challenge in that way that
Mhm.
you're like, am I really doing this? And do I
Mhm.
really get to have this, this change or do this? And being able to create those moments and knowing our parents also need those. And we need to create those for them as well. Well,
Mhm.
thank you so much, Teresa, for being on. I'm definitely going to go check out that. And you all make sure you get that download. It'll be in the chat in just a few minutes. And I don't see any questions. I see some people watching us. So hello. And if you're watching the replay, let us know. But I don't see any questions yet. So we will wrap up. And it was so great to have you here,
Yeah.
Teresa. Thanks for being on.
Oh, thanks, Tammy. I really enjoyed this. Thanks.